Cruzadesofmotivation here to shoot the shit a little bit. What's up, Aldo? What's going on, brother? How was
Good
your day?
evening, man. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, man. It was a great day, man. Finally, summer is here. Oh
Yeah.
man, feels so good. The weather feels so good, man. I was outside all day. I was doing a little bit of work around the house, cut the grass, man. I went diagonal today because I usually go like this way, go this way because
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to do one on one. Today I went fucking diagonal, man. I was fancy and shit, but it's been a great day, man. Just hanging out, man.
You get that lawn. You
Thankful.
get that lawn looking like a baseball diamond, like a baseball field.
I'm not that good there yet, man, but I definitely try to improve every time. I
Yeah.
definitely try to do, man. I hear guys, man, that take it so serious that they compete with each other and shit. The
Oh
neighborhoods
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. 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 When I was doing mine, I had the ride-on mower,
Oh no
and yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
that's fancy.
Yeah. Well, it was when I first moved, I started doing it with just a regular size mower, but it's a pretty big piece of property in the back. And it took me hours and hours, and then finally I graduated and I bought that ride-on mower, So I was going with that. But I used to try and get fancy with it too, but then I used to say, I just want to get it done. Like, I don't give a shit what direction I go in. I just want to get it done, because then you always got a weed whack after that, and it would turn into like a whole day affair, really, by the time you get done doing everything. And then I was guaranteed twice a year poison ivy, guaranteed.
Oh shit.
And I never had it in my life, until I was probably like well into my 30s or like almost 40 years old, but I had never had poison ivy. And then for like a stretch of like maybe 5 years, 6 years, I would get it twice a year, guaranteed. And in the same spot. It was funny because it would always come out like on my arm here. And then somehow it would go on my arm and my lower back. But I would always get it like in the same spot. I don't understand how that worked out. But
No shit.
yeah, yeah. But that was annoying. That was annoying doing that.
Man,
But,
I like cutting the grass, man. It's alright. It's meditative.
yeah, yeah.
Focus on the loud more and shit, and I enjoy it, man. It's good. It's good.
I saw you were out on your bike this morning, taking a bike ride.
Yeah, it was a bicycle workout today, man. Nothing too fancy, just to keep it moving, Vini. You
Yeah,
know, I um I was tired from yesterday. I did squats and I was sore in the morning, so I said, man, I'm gonna superset it with the bike today.
yeah, that was good. I haven't ridden my bike in quite some time. I have my bike here, and I got to give it a tune-up though. It needs a couple of new. It's got two flats. I got to oil it up, grease it up a little bit, and get it ready to go. But um, I've definitely been meaning uh, to get on it and stuff. And then when I saw you today, I'm like, I got to get back on that bike. I used to like riding. I used to go a lot. Late at night too. I used to go, and it was
Okay.
really nice. It was really nice. Like I used to work and get off at like midnight, and on the nights I didn't go to the bar and get drunk, of course, uh, I would go out and get on my bike like after work, like after midnight, and I would ride around for like a couple of hours.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You did a light with you and shit, like your strobe light and your front light or no lights. Were you reckless?
I was reckless. Yeah, no
Oh
lights. I would
man,
just drive around. But I
man.
would I would go around like the city streets, and then obviously there was no traffic then, and then I would go down the park, and I would
Mm,
ride around, take a few laps around the park, and but yeah, I used to do it for like a couple of hours.
damn.
It was fun. It was fun. That's definitely a de-stressor. That's
Hmm.
a really good thing to do. Like, just get out on your bike and just ride. I'm talking about it, but I really have to do it. Like a lot of things. I wanted to give a shout out too to our friend, Bro Derek. You did last week. You did. All right, Joseph. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Hey
Check this
Joseph.
guy out. Check this guy out. So, Bro Derek, last week you did the Murph, which was 1 mile. you were wearing a 20-pound vest. You did 1 mile, 100 push-ups, 200. No, I'm sorry, 100
Push-ups.
pull-ups, 200 push-ups,
Yeah.
300 squats, and then another mile. Right, wearing a 20-pound vest.
Mhm.
So, Bro Derek, our friend Bro Derek, did it. I saw his video today, and Derek, being Derek, said, "Well, I don't have a, a 20-pound vest. I only have a 25-pound vest, so I'm going to do the 25-pound vest." So he went out and did it, and he did his run. And I didn't watch the whole video yet. I know he finished it. I know him for sure. There's no doubt that he finished it. But I got to finish watching the video. But shout out to him because he got that done with a 25-pound vest on. He's a beast. He's an absolute.
Yeah. Shout outs to him, man. You know what's funny? I was texting with him and he said that too. But I just ran into the video too today also. I still gotta finish it up. And I saw the 25 pound base. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna make it an even nicer workout, man. And brother got beat, so he used to that the big weight, big reps. He used to that, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like we always talk like, well, what's the best workout to do? And Bro Derek's definitely one of the guys that he's not afraid of anything. He
Hmm.
lifts the weights. He does the calisthenics. He jumped in on this Murph. Like whatever it is, he does it. You know what I mean? He's definitely a guy that doesn't just stick to one thing.
Hmm.
You know what I
He
mean? He
bikes.
tries every. What's that?
He bikes too.
He does bike. Yeah, I know he
Hmm.
runs. I didn't
Hmm.
know he bikes too. Yeah, but I
Hmm.
know he right because he. I think he just did like a half marathon or something. But he's a runner
Mm.
too. He's
Oh,
an
he
avid
runs
runner
too.
too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah,
bro Derek, man.
yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. And then I watched another one today. Our buddy Gusto from Game Bros. Check out Game Bros channel and the GFTS podcast every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern on the Game Bros channel. But he did a nice little routine today that actually his son came up with, and it was all not all. Well, it was body weight until the end where he did some curls, but it was a nice full body routine. Um, he did push up. He did, I think, push ups, burpees, pull ups, squats, dumbbell curls. I don't know if you saw that one yet, but that was a
No,
really
I
nice
haven't checked
routine
that
there.
one out. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, yeah. It was like maybe a 20 or 25 minute routine, but he said that his son came up with it. But yeah, it was definitely a good routine. Definitely.
What do you
So
do? What was the workout for today
me,
for you? Yeah.
nothing yet. I'm hoping tonight I'll do something.
Oh
Uh,
shit, late nighter, huh?
yeah, I hope. Well, I told you I've been getting back on the bench. I've been doing some bench pressing and the weighted pull up. So yesterday was pretty much a pull day. So today I was looking to maybe do some get in a few sets of some bench pressing, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
probably round it off. I'll probably just wind up doing like some push ups and stuff or dips, maybe some dips with that too. So, but definitely a push.
Mm.
Um,
Bench and dips.
yeah, I'll do it afterwards. Yeah, yeah,
That's a good set. I'm
uh,
I'm actually been thinking about a set for my bros tomorrow, man. So that might be something.
yeah.
Because I don't. I'm like, man, what can we do tomorrow? So that might be something. Benching and dips.
Who's that? Your boys at the Y? Your
Yeah, my
gym
boy
bros?
Mike, man. Yeah, my boy Mike and my Mike and John, man. They're riding. We're trying to get more people in there, but Mike is gonna come in tomorrow for sure. So
But
um
now they're mostly gym guys, right? They're like weight guys, or they're not calisthenics guys for the most part, right?
win the conversion.
You're
I'm
trying to convert them over.
Yeah, I'm gonna convert them. Yes,
You're going to
yes,
show them the way. You're going to lead
I
them you're going to lead them to the promised land.
yeah, man. Already been, man. They've been enjoying the shit out of the workouts we've been doing, man. Oh man, this guy's been bleeding on their hands from them pull-ups. Oh
Oh
man,
yeah,
and I'm like, let it bleed, man. It's gonna build up.
yeah,
It's gonna build up.
yeah. No,
Mm-hmm.
pull ups are the way to go. Yeah, definitely. Um, I think I told you I'm actually working with a guy now who's he did well. Not he didn't with me. He didn't, but previous to me working with him, he lost like 40 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in his 40s, 40, yeah, 40. He's 46. He never exercised in his life until about 3 years ago.
Never. Not any
Never
sport,
did.
nothing.
Never did anything for
Mm.
43 years. He never did any type of exercise. And then when he was overweight, and he decided to start exercising. And he said, I didn't know what to do, so I just went to the park and I started doing calisthenics. And he started doing pull-ups, push-ups, squats, or whatever, all body weight stuff. And that's what
Hmm.
he's been doing. That's what he's been doing for 3 years. And he's really coming along. He's made a lot of progress. So I'm hoping to get him like over the finish line. He's got a few more pounds to lose. He's definitely not afraid to work. You know, he likes his burpees, like you. I know you love your burpees, right?
I love burpees.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Keep
fucking
telling.
love those things. I'm doing some of them tomorrow too. Shit. Now you remind me. Remind me of my love. Man.
But yeah, that's what he's doing. He's doing all. He's never been in a gym in his life.
Hmm.
Never had a gym membership, but he's doing well. I mean, he does his burpees. He hits that park, and he took up running too. He loves to run.
Hmm.
But even he said, I said, you never ran before. Like, what made you start running? He goes, he said a big part of it is de-stressing. He goes, the running part is more of like definitely more of a mental thing, because he'll just go out, and he said, I go out and just run. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 miles, 3 miles, or 5 miles. I
Mm.
just run until I don't feel like running anymore, which
That's a
is
good
good.
mentality.
That's
Hmm.
a good, yeah, definitely, without a doubt. But he said he gets a lot of benefits, just like the mental benefit from that. And then after that run, he'll go to the park and he'll do his pulls, his pushes, and whatever else he's got to do. So he's doing really well. So I'm proud of him. So,
Shout out
but
to
yeah,
him, man. Cause that
yeah,
shit ain't
definitely.
easy.
No, no, and you know, he's actually type 2 diabetic, and
Mm.
it's really hard to lose weight like that. And he was able to do it. He lost a good chunk of weight, and like I said, he did it all on his own. He had no guidance. He just woke up one day and said, "I'm tired of this shit. I got to start making a change." And he's been doing really good with it. So shout out to him. You know. But anyway, um,
Shout out to him.
so
Yeah, man. Sorry.
on another note, what are you into politics? I mean, this is definitely switching gears here, but I had to bring this up to you. I wanted to get your take on this. Do you follow politics at all? This could be a
Not
bad
very
subject.
much.
This could be
Not
a
very
bad
much.
subject.
You say it's gonna be a bad subject?
It could be, it could turn a lot of people off when we talk politics. But I want to get your take on. So, like, what do you follow it at all, or like what?
Medium, medium. If they man, people get hurt because they just becoming fucking sensitive, man. We don't need to be sensitive. I myself, I'm not a citizen yet, so I cannot vote. I wish I could, so I can make a little bit of a difference because I do believe that with a little thing, you can make a big difference. That
Hmm.
little, I think it's a way that everybody can speak, right? By that.
Right.
But I'm not really a follower. That I don't keep up. But you can't really help it not to keep up because people will talk about. You see it either way.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
you see it somewhere. It comes up somewhere by friends, by social media.
Do you now? Obviously, I to be honest with you, I was never a big political guy for most of my life, right? Because I don't know, I had other things going in my mind, and I guess I should have been involved in it and paid more attention to it. But obviously, in the past, what, 7, 8 years since Trump came on the scene, I mean, things have just gotten like, I don't, as much as I didn't follow politics, and I guess it did get crazy earlier, but I don't remember it ever being the way it is now today,
As
right?
far as what?
Just how divided everybody
Mm,
is,
mm.
how crazy it is. Like, just like I don't how people can see things so differently. Like there's two sides, and nobody's willing to budge. You know what I'm saying? Like and like you'll see what's going on, and this has nothing to do with who to vote for, who, but I'm just saying, like, when you see the way people react, and there's nobody's willing to even look at the other side of the coin, or even have like even consider somebody else's viewpoint. It's like I'm a 60-year-old white guy, so obviously everybody thinks that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a MAGA guy, right? Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact,
No shit,
right?
no shit.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying. You know what I mean? I live in northern New Jersey. This is like a Republican area, like a conservative area. So, but and if I am or I'm not, like, why would that matter to somebody? But if nobody is willing to like look at the other side of the coin or even consider, it's just like I believe this, and what really gets me, the thing that really gets me is that people don't even have a valid argument. It's either Trump sucks, Biden sucks. Why? Why? Well, because they suck. Why? Because I said so, and that's it. They can't go any further than that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
if somebody were to say to me, I think Trump sucks because when he was in office, he signed this executive order, or he signed some bill that was passed by the Senate, and I didn't agree with this and that. You'll never hear that. You never hear that. You hear he's a racist, he's a this, he's a that, you know, and and you see it all the time too. Like people on the flip side, they'll say to people, like you'll be on YouTube and they'll have these guys doing interviews on the street. Are you a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter? Well, of course I'm a Biden supporter. If I was a Trump supporter, that would make me a racist and this and that and the other thing. Okay, well, what do you like most about Biden? What do you like most that he's done since he was in office? Well, I just think he's a good president. Yeah, but why? Give me a reason why. Tell me why. And people can't. You know what I mean? And it's fucking crazy what's going on. Now they have him. I don't know if you've been following this, but it's all. I don't. I, I'm going to say I don't follow it, but I have been seeing it every day on YouTube. I don't watch the news, but on YouTube they have. He's on trial in New York for this hush money thing,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right? And it's just you talk about a kangaroo court. Like it's a joke what they're doing to the guy, you know. Um, and they're just making it a circus, and it's whether you like the guy or don't like the guy, it's so obvious that they did it and did it when they did it just to keep him off the campaign trail, because he's got to be in court every single day, and that's where he's been the past several weeks, you know. And they just they did it. It was an obvious political move, and they made these trumped up charges, no pun intended, just to keep him there and keep him off the trail. But then to make matters worse, now today I saw that they had Robert De Niro, right, the actor.
yeah.
They had some kind of press conference outside the courthouse. And this guy De Niro is like he's unhinged. He hates Trump's guts, and the stuff he was saying, like we can't let him we can't let him back in office. Do you understand? If he goes back, if he gets elected again, he'll never leave. He'll Is that what you want? You want a dictator? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean
No
he's never
shit.
gonna leave? But it really is. The term is so it's such a spot on term when they say Trump derangement syndrome that these people have. They are like unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like just to listen to them.
Man,
But
they're trying to
yeah,
get him, man. He must know something. He must know something, you know. They're trying to get him hard.
well,
Um, it's crazy.
if nothing else, wouldn't you say to yourself, why are they going after this guy so strong? You know what I mean? Like I've never seen anything like this. I mean, if they don't like you, they're gonna get you one way or the other. But this guy, it's like they're throwing everything at him, everything from the day he announced that he was gonna run back in whatever it was, 2016 or 2015. I mean, they've been after this guy. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. Like, and you got to question it and go, why? Like, what is it about this guy that they keep doing this? You
Yeah,
know?
man. They put it. They've been putting him all through the dirt. But a point that I wanna also talk about, man, is that no man is perfect, man. You know, no man
No.
is perfect, and no man is gonna be um or have a clear path. You know, all his life. And I think I was reading something about MLK.
Mm.
And the way he was like he had a little women and shit. He used to sneak out on his wife and shit. And I'm like, damn, I never heard anything like this on MLK. And it got me thinking. I don't know where I heard this from, but they talk about, sometimes you gotta look at the good that people do compared to the bad. Like, why are they
Yeah.
accusing them of giving money to that playmate? Wasn't she a playmate or something? And just he gave money to her for this shit is like nonsense little things. Like, why does that shit even matter, man? He's trying
Well,
to
and
like money
exactly.
for to keep his reputation clean because he has to. You know what I mean? I think he had a wife at the time or something, right? It was like a
Well,
affair that he was having.
yeah.
Not that
Apparently,
that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
he had an affair. She's like a porn star.
Okay, look at
So
Trump, man.
he had he had an affair with her, and
uh,
then uh, apparently they paid her, like, basically, hey, forget this ever happened, right? We'll
hmm
give you this
hmm
money.
hmm
And but now what they're saying is that the money that they used was campaign money, money that he raised for his
Oh,
campaign.
oh, I see, I see. Oh, so that's what they trying to. That's like
So they and they didn't they still haven't even come out and said exactly what the charge is against him. Nobody even knows that. But it
they're
has
making him
something to
up.
do, they're trying to say that, well, you use that money for your own benefit. But that's the gist of it, that he had this affair and then he took the money from money that he raised for his campaign and paid her off. You know what I
Mm,
mean? To not
mm-hmm,
say anything about it, basically to
mm-hmm.
save his reputation. But again, like you said, nobody's perfect. And you think, I mean, you look at Bill Clinton, any of these politicians, any one of
Yeah,
them,
I mean, every
any one of
human,
them.
we all have fucking that shit that we do. Sometimes when people don't see us, so uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's you talk about hypocrites. Like and that's why you know that this is just like politically motivated, and it just. But the thing is, you know what the crazy thing is every time they go after him, he gets stronger and stronger.
that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing for them, man, because they're gonna
Yeah,
make him win and shit. And they showing how when somebody's against something, they'll try to they'll try to
yeah.
get your ass. I gotta get close to my outlet, man. I gotta get my charger real quick. So
Go ahead,
I'm running
go
out of
ahead.
battery. Sorry guys, but man, I think see, I can't even fucking vote, man. But I think all the voters that can vote, they should look at uh who's gonna make this shit better. Who's gonna help of what's going on now? The problems
Right.
that we have, right? The shit that's going on out here. Like I hear they've been sending a lot of money to other countries, and then we are here paying a lot of more money for groceries. Like this year, you're gonna spend a lot more money than last year because of
Hmm.
how the economy is.
Right.
So that hasn't been managed the right way.
Well, yeah, you could get into the whole thing with Ukraine. Um, the money that we've sent over there, it's like billions and billions of dollars that we're sending over there, and it's we're the ones paying for it. The taxpayers are the ones paying for it, um,
Exactly.
and it's going to this war. They're funding this war, um, and it really is the United States that's pushing it to keep the war going because we our intent was to try and weaken Putin, but that backfired because even he's getting stronger and stronger. You know, they when it first started. they put all these what do you call it? Not tariffs, but you know,
Can you give me this one? Sorry, Vinny.
I keep hearing what's that
Yeah,
sprinkling?
that's my lady's alarm. Can I get this one? Oh, she's getting. Yeah, that was her. That was her.
I keep
This is
hearing.
a live video, guys. This is live, man.
uh,
Yeah, man. I think, man, we need seriously. That's how I think, in my point of view. I think everybody should be looking at who's gonna like actually help, right? Actually, uh, do something that matters, man. You know, something that is actually a problem.
right.
No, sometimes they want they like try put so much attention on giving the transgender a day. Like that's cool, hey man. I don't have no disrespect for nobody that has their preference, however the fuck they want to dress. That's but like it's so like things are focused on things that they're important, but there's other things that are more important before that.
Yeah, without a
You know what I'm
doubt.
saying? There's a lot of
Without
things
a
that are more
doubt.
important, man. There's people out here fucking homeless. There's fucking underfunding for schools. I mean, there's so much shit, man. My street
Yeah,
is broken, bro.
yeah,
Like my street is broken out there. I gotta call here one of these days. My neighbor said he called and they never fucking answer. He's like, man, they never came. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. And meanwhile, like you said, we're sending billions and billions of dollars to fund this war over in Ukraine, and they're all but. I mean, there's no way Ukraine's going to win that war. They're being destroyed. I mean, do you know how many people, how many Ukrainians have been killed? Like, I mean, it's unbelievable that like
it's fucking
the
sad, man.
it really is the number of people that got killed over there, and we keep funding it. We keep pushing it to go on and on. And like you said about, you look at the state of education in this country today. Like the average adult in the U.S. is on like a seventh or eighth grade reading level. Like
Shit, I know I
we're
was.
we're graduating like we're not being educated.
Mhm.
We're sending all this money over there. And like you said, the infrastructure here, the roads, the railways, all of these accidents that are going on. Like, I mean, everything's antiquated. The highway system needs to be updated. There's so much stuff that needs to be done in this country, and we're sending all this money over there. So you're right though. But when people go to vote, they should honestly look at who do
Mhm.
I think is going to do the better job for the. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican,
Exactly. Exactly.
independent. I
Mhm.
don't care. I don't care what
Mhm.
what part. But it's like I said earlier. People aren't willing to look at the other side or hear another opinion. Like you have these people that just. I'm a Democrat. I've been a Democrat all my life. I'm going to vote for a Democrat. What kind of thought process is that? It
Mhm.
makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. You
It
know,
doesn't. It doesn't.
how could you not look at some and really listen to what they're saying, and not so much what they're saying, but what they've done. Look at their record too, what they've done in the past, right? And for all of the bullshit, like when Trump was running the first time, oh my God, if you put him in office, he's going to start World War III, and you can't put him in charge of the button. He'll be sending he'll fire the nuclear weapons and all this shit. He was the first guy that got in, and there were no wars,
Yeah.
right? And he had peace in the Middle East. I mean, look at what's going on now. Israel is a shit show. The whole Middle East is a shit show. Russia, Ukraine, China's making moves all over the world. I mean, it's just things are out of control. Things are spinning out of control, and they're still saying you can't let Trump get reelected because that'll be the end of the world. We're just about there anyway. So how much fucking worse can it get?
Shit, man. No. It's funny, man. A few years ago, one of my friends sent me a clip of the president now, and he was talking about uh the. I think he's part of the people that made the three strikes, and he made a lot of laws, right? Like
Yeah,
possession laws, right? Like crazy. Like people get these crazy sentences and no opportunity to rehabilitate and get better. And I mean, I heard this interview and he was talking crazy, like almost racist. You
Very.
know?
You. Oh my God! You listened to stuff from him from years back.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit! The stuff that
Like
came out of that guy's mouth, unbelievable. It's
unbelievable,
unbelievable.
right? Right. And then I'm thinking back on Trump and shit. And I mean, Trump is the guy that used to hang out with all the rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was around all the fucking crazy parties. I'm sure you know that's probably why he was around that shit, because he's only a human and he was
Yeah.
young then too. So he's
Yeah.
around all these fucking crazy rappers and but then he's called this shit, right? So it's like they trying to flip the coin
Yeah.
because with their actions, right? Like you said, I mean, what have they been doing? Trump is. I read one of his books, man, and that really changed my mentality on him. You know, he's just
Yeah.
a fucking businessman. You
Yeah.
know, he just.
Hmm.
I think he's a person that wants to and I don't know him, man. And who knows me? Some people have dark fucking intentions too. You know, I don't know him personally and shit. But as I see, and as I was reading this book, I forget the name of this book, man. But in there, he's just a businessman. You know, he's just a person that gets like I get kicks out of fucking doing a lot of reps. You know, he gets kicks out of starting a business and making it successful and shit. You know, and figure
Yeah.
things out on how to get there.
Yeah. He's always looking to make a deal, right? His thing is always
And,
make a deal.
yeah, exactly,
But this
exactly,
you
yeah.
you can't argue, man. When he was in office, he got shit done. He was getting shit done. He was getting a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shit done. Like you look at what he did, like in the Middle East, with those peace accords and stuff. I mean, stuff like that. Like they were trying for 40 years to do that stuff, and he came in and within like 2 or 3 years, he had it done. You know, and 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 they wanted to give him, the Nobel Peace Prize, and they gave it to Obama for doing nothing. Like he didn't do
Fuck,
anything.
man. Fucking
So it's
Obama took my scholarship, man. Back in the day, I had a scholarship in college, and he they told us, the government took the or a scholarship founding. I'm like, damn, I thought he was gonna help us out.
nah,
Oh,
nah.
fuck, it's
He's
fucking twisted, man.
Yeah, he's a politician, man, and don't think he's not in charge today either, because Biden's not making any decisions. Um, that guy's a mess. He's a total mess, and if you don't see that, I don't care. Again, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or you're from Mars. You look at this guy and you know that, and you say that there's not something wrong with this guy, seriously wrong with him, man. You got to have your own head examined, because he's in rough shape. He doesn't know what day it is, you know.
Man, hey, Vinny, one thing I was just thinking right now before I forget. So I'm like an outsider, right? I live here, but I don't really have too much saying unless with my taxes and shit that it's minor, right? But people that can vote and that get like this subject cannot be spoken, right? Uh, for the most part, people can like we talk about this shit because we bros and we on some different shit, right? We openly about those things and nobody gets fucking mad. You can do whatever you want, but I don't understand why everybody afraid when that's something that matters so much because it like actually matters in your daily life, in your county, and you're fucking black. I mean, I remember we got hit twice here in Nebraska with the race over mortgages. Like
Hmm.
my shit went up twice, man, in the same year. I said, "Oh, what? Oh, again?" Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been like 3 4 months. When we got, you got the fucking notice on the mail, and they tell you that you can go and appeal, but
yeah,
nobody fucking goes because they think that it doesn't matter. But I bet if all of the neighborhood goes, they'll do
yeah,
something about it. And I think that's a wrong mentality. And that's me looking at it from the outside, right?
yeah.
As an spectator can
Right.
participate on the game, but as an spectator, I'm like, fuck, I don't understand why people get so offended and shit. When somebody
Yeah,
talks about, oh, well, this motherfucker years ago, he was doing good. He was, economy was a lot better. I
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
But there's a lot of things but, like again, nobody's gonna be fucking perfect. We're all gonna be doing, fail at some areas, but I don't know why people are afraid of this. They should be like openly speaking to each other. And I almost think that she must be by design too, to have everybody like afraid of fucking telling what they feel or how they think about this fucking politician, or talk to their neighbors, talk to their gym members. Like I talk about this shit, with the gym members, and it's sometimes I'm like, oh my god, that's cool to see that more people think like that.
Yeah, I think most people do, but the people that don't, like that goes back to the point I made earlier. Like there are some people that just the minute you open your mouth, like, if I was to say, like, if I'm in a room full of people and I say to somebody, well, I voted for so and so, there are some people I'd be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, how could you do that? And they'll just like shut you down
That's fucking
rather than
ignorant.
saying, what do you, why would you, you vote? Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get it. Well, what made you do that? Like, what about him did you find, did you feel that the country was better under him? Did his
Hmm.
policies benefit you and your family more? Like, there's no discussion like that. You don't hear that discussion.
There
You
should
have
be though.
that's exactly what it should be. Instead, you
Hmm.
have people just shouting people down, like, you like Trump, fuck you. You like Biden, no, fuck you. And it's just nuts. It's nuts. There's no middle ground, and that's not life. Life isn't black and white. There's gray. Life
Yeah.
is the gray area. There's always the
Hmm.
gray area, but they don't look
Hmm.
at it like that, and that's why I don't know, man. It's just I don't know what the answer is, but it's just, and that's why you can't watch the news, because it's just like I can't listen to it anymore. I just can't listen to the same shit. Trump's a racist. Trump is this. Trump, if he gets in, he'll never leave. He's like a dictator. Shut the fuck up. It's bullshit. You know you're lying. You're lying. It's all they came up with all this propaganda because they're trying to take the guy down because he's a threat, because they know that he's got a good chance of winning. And so they're doing everything they can, but it makes it even funnier when they do it, and then a poll will come out the next day and say he's ahead by this much now, and not only that, but he's raising more money now. People are contributing to his campaign even more. So the more they throw at him, the stronger he gets. It's like, I don't know if you remember years ago. I don't know if you would even remember this, but in the movie uh, Ghostbusters,
Uh-huh.
right? Remember the big Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? He kept
Uh-huh.
getting bigger and bigger because all the hatred that was going on in the city.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I have forgotten. Yeah, you're
Right?
right. You're right. Yeah.
There was all the hatred was going on in the city. So he was
It
getting
fed him.
so the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was getting stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger. And that's what Trump is like. He's
That's
like the
fucking
Stay Puft
Trump.
Marshmallow Man.
He
He keeps
fucking
getting
looks like
strong.
him too. Oh man, that's
you
a
know?
wild motherfucker, man. Hey, Mr. Trump is fucking wild, man. I don't, I really, and even now, man, that's something that I learned. Like, you really gotta judge people by their character, like what they
Yeah.
do, man, like the type of shit they do. And he said a lot of stupid shit too, though, man. But that's just it. That's him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's his fucking personality. He's just a fucking a rowdy motherfucker. A rich kid, man. I mean, he grew up rich, but he also his dad was not easy on him.
No.
Which that's I think that's cool. You have some privileges, but
Yeah.
like I read on this book, man. He was talking about his dad and shit, and how his dad made his fortune. I also came from fucking nothing, so um, I admire, I admire that, man.
But listen, I mean I've listened to the guy, and I don't doubt that he's an egomaniac. I'm sure he
Hmm.
is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Hmm.
any of these politicians it's all about power.
Hmm.
It's any of them. I don't care. Every single one of them. And even if they're not, when they initially go in, when they initially run, and they may have all these delusions of grandeur that they're going to go in and right the wrongs and help the country and this and that. But when reality hits them in the face, and they see, and they start getting a little bit of that power, people start getting corrupted. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this guy, The one thing about this guy, and this like you mentioned before, when you hear Biden talk from 20, 30, 40 years ago, he was a racist son of a bitch. The
Crazy
shit that came
shit.
out of his mouth, like
Crazy.
right, exactly.
It's fucking crazy. I couldn't believe it, Vinny. Like they sent me this, and I'm like, oh my god, that's some fucking crazy shit to say. I mean, you
I
say
know,
that shit right now, and oh man, I don't know
yeah,
what they do to you now saying some shit
right.
like that.
Well, but the thing is, if he said it, they wouldn't do anything. But
Jesus.
if you take this is the point I'm trying to make. If you take that stuff that Biden said 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I mean, it's there. People can find it, people can listen to it, people can see it, but nobody says anything about it. Do you think that if that was Donald Trump saying those exact words 20, 30, 40 years ago, they wouldn't be playing it over and over and over on the news today to show you that,
Hmm.
right? So if you go back and you see interviews with Donald Trump from 30, 40 on Oprah, on all of these shows, on the news shows, on everything, he was saying the same stuff back then that he says today. Like
Yeah.
about I'm telling you, it's
Hmm.
like if there's one thing about that guy, he's consistent. He's been consistent from what I see for the past 40 years. Love him or hate him, he's been the same way all along. You know what I mean? And I've seen interviews with him, and I'm like, he just said that this past week. You know what I mean? Like it's all that he's been consistent. He says the same shit over and over, and you can't deny. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you're a staunch Democrat. I voted Democrat my whole life. You cannot deny that you were better off. This country was better off when that guy was in office. Those first
Mm-mm.
3 years that he was in office, before all this pandemic shit started, right? It, he had the biggest tax cuts in history. He was funding black colleges. Do you know how many people were released from prison with the hmm, what was that bill that they were trying to get passed for years and years? Um,
That's the one that people used to get sentenced for little things, right?
yeah,
That
right.
Biden passed. That Biden, he created that shit. That's crazy.
Right, and that was yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. You go back and look at Biden. You heard him talking when he was in the Senate and talking about the crack cocaine. If you have this much crack cocaine, you're going to go to jail for how many years, right? And look at
Hmm.
his son. Look at his look at the whole thing with his
Oh
son.
damn, damn.
And again, to take it a step further, you look at what his son has done, and they buried so much of it. Like you don't see so much of it
Yeah,
on
you
the
don't
news.
see
You
shit.
really have to look for it. But this guy's a fucking degenerate. Can you imagine if that was one of Trump's kids? I
Oh
mean,
man.
they would be relentless with it. They would be relentless with it. But so yeah, it all depends on who it is. But say what you want about the guy. He's been, if nothing else, he's been consistent. He hasn't changed his tune from day one. And you could go back because all of it's there. But Biden, like you really when you listen to some of the stuff he used to say, I mean, if you played that on the news today, again, they'd cover it up and they'd say, "Oh, he didn't really mean that," and it was, blah blah blah. They'd put a spin on it. But when I hear it, I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like that's fucking crazy. Like especially when you think taking those words and putting them in today's what's going on today.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
those
I
are
mean? In
crazy,
today's
crazy.
world, it really is nuts. But what the end result is going to be, who knows? I guess we'll see in November. But people change their minds day to day, so you never know.
Man, hey, make sure my people. This is a message, man. This is an important message. Whoever that can vote, man, please do. Do not waste. You're right, man. Look, I wish I could. I really wish, man. I wish I could, man. I'll be fucking volunteering over there. Make sure nobody's putting some extra ones in there. Oh my
Oh,
god, man. I bet I
we,
can still do that shit. But you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean, it's needed, man. It's needed, man. There's some crazy shit happening, and if you
yeah,
had the opportunity to help like that, I think you should, man. So
yeah,
everybody that had the right to do it, man, please do it. Do it, man. Do it
yeah,
for your
no doubt.
family, man.
And if you're gonna vote, at least vote with your head. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
just vote because I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a this. really look at the issues and look at who do you think is really going to help the country. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't
Common
just go in
sense, man.
blind.
It's
Yeah,
common sense
exactly.
now, like really like the serious situations, man. What are they? Who has a plan for these serious situations? Who has a plan that sounds like it can work, right?
Yeah.
They got proof, both of them. So that's a way to decide, right? They already made the work, who they already had. So let's see who can do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's kind of sad too that it's only two of them that participate, man. Because I'm sure there's other ones that like the independent ones that have great ideas, but they don't have the horsepower. Not a lot of people is
Yeah.
in those. They don't give them attention, which that's crazy too.
Well, the wild card in this one is going to be that RFK Jr.
Oh yeah,
Kennedy, right? Because
that motherfucker's ripped.
yeah, people that see the thing is now, the people there are going to be some people that do vote for him, but a deciding factor could be: are people going to not vote for Biden and vote for Kennedy, or are they going to
Mm.
people going to take, or is he going to take the votes away from Trump? In other words, if people say, well, I was going to vote for Trump, but only because I don't want to vote for Biden. But then they see Kennedy and say, well, I'll vote for him instead. So he's going to pull votes. Kennedy's going to
Mm.
get some amount of votes. But is he going to get more from Biden or is he going to get more from Trump? And that's going to be critical because it's going to be, I mean, you could tell no matter what happens, it's going to be razor thin. It's going to be split like right down the middle. So it's only going to be by a few. Whoever wins, it's not going to be by many votes,
Shit,
especially when
he,
it comes
he
to
he
these
sounds
races.
like he will be a good candidate. I mean, he went through the shit with his dad. I'm sure he knows a lot of shit that's deep about the government. Maybe he got some great ideas.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And he works
Well,
out, so shit.
I mean, I have heard him talk, and he does sound very common sense.
Oh, really?
Sounds down to earth for the most part when I listen to him speak. But I don't know that much about him. I mean, um, then they say that he really is like a real. He's extremely liberal, even more liberal than Biden. So I don't know. I don't see that though. But if you listen to him speak, and he picked somebody to be his running mate, who I didn't know her either, uh, but she's supposedly very very liberal. So
Oh,
I don't know what his stance is on all the what his whole platform is. I know he's anti-vax with the vaccines. He's very outspoken about COVID and the vaccines and how
then this common sense, then common sense guy.
yeah, when he talks about that, he sounds very common sense.
Mm.
He sounds like very well thought out. But when it comes to the other stuff, like the wars that are going on, and I don't know exactly where he stands on stuff like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of other things for that matter. Because most of the stuff I've heard him talk about has been about the vaccine stuff, the lockdowns, and just really the whole pandemic situation.
Mm.
That's what I've heard him speak about most. But on the surface, he does sound pretty common sense, and I think he's definitely worth listening to a little more. But in the grand scheme, I don't think in in 5 months, I don't think he's gonna. I don't. He has no chance of winning the election. He's really just going to be a spoiler. He's going to take votes. So
Mm.
I think it's just going to come down to who does he take votes from the most. You know what I'm saying? Who is he going to hurt most? Really, that's what it's going to come down to.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So
Fuck. Fucking complicated game, man. It's a fucking. I guess
it's
that's I wonder where politics come from, man. It's gotta be something that has to do with keeping society um organized, right? There's
well,
gotta
yeah,
be
that's
something
exactly
to
what it
do
is.
to that,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah. But the problem is that people become too reliant on the government. You know what I'm saying? Like they're there, you know, to pass certain laws because without laws, you don't have a civilization. Everybody's just running amok. So you have to
Man.
have some rules. You have to have some rules in place. But they just keep taking it further and for more and more and more rules. And like I said, it's not being a conspiracy theorist, but it comes down to you want to control the people as much as you can. You got to
Hmm.
keep people under control, right? And you're not going to control people as a whole if everybody's, you know, if they're not split apart, and which we are. This country is split right down the middle, 50-50 on so many things. We've talked about this before, right? It's
Hmm.
whether it's politics, whether it's race, religion, now sex with the transgender stuff. They always have to drive a wedge between people because if you keep people separated, and as long as people are fighting amongst themselves, you have a way better chance of controlling them. But if people come together, you know what I mean, and everybody's not divided like that, it's much harder to control people. So you know, and that's you know, when you listen to the news and when you listen to these politicians talk, it's all about fear. Like everything about Donald Trump is fear. Oh my God, if he gets in, you know, like this lunatic Robert De Niro, you don't understand. If he gets into office, he'll never leave. He'll never leave. You don't want a dictator. It's going to be the end of democracy as we know it. You know, everything is doom and gloom. They want everybody to be afraid. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, we better not vote for Trump. We better vote for Biden because he's going to protect us. Because if Trump gets in, he's going to blow the world up. Meanwhile, we're going to hell in a handbasket right now with this clown in office. You
Man.
know?
No more
So,
wars, man. That shit is fucking. It sucks, man. I never want to see one in my life, man.
no, no.
I'm ready though, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but what do you, but listen, here's the thing. You know, if it ever came down to it, but really, what are you fighting for? Like, why are we, I mean, we're getting closer and closer every day to where like American troops are going to wind up over in Ukraine. And why? What are we fighting for over there? You know, you ask people. That's the other thing. You know, you have all these flag waving people in the U.S. Slava Ukraine, and they have their flags. I see people with Ukrainian bumper stickers and flags on their houses. You don't even know what caused that war. You don't even know what's behind it. You don't even know what started it. You don't know any of
Hmm.
the ideology that started this or why it's even going on. You know what I mean? They painted a picture here that the evil Russians are looking to take over the world, and they started with the Ukrainians. There's so much more to it that it's so far out of comprehension for the average person over here. And I mean, and these politicians are just that war could have been over. You know, I was reading into it, and if any of it's true, you know, Putin from day one, they were looking to negotiate. They said, "Look, we don't want to do this. We want to negotiate." And it was the United States and the UK that because this guy Zelensky, he's a fucking clown. He's a puppet. He's a puppet for the
Hmm.
US. They basically told him, "You're not negotiating. You keep fighting. We'll fund you and we'll send you the weapons and you keep fighting." There's so much more to it.
Shit.
There's so much more to it than that I can't explain, that you can't explain. But this blind bullshit, you know, that people in, you know, and then when gas prices are going up, of course we're paying, you know, $4 a gallon for gas for a gallon of gas, and you got Biden on TV. Well, it's Putin's price hike. It's Putin. It's Putin's fault.
How he's not even. He's not even
Fucking
live here.
Putin has nothing to do with it. What are you talking about, Putin? It has nothing to
He's
do with
way
Putin.
so far from here.
But there's so much. There's so much, and you know what the answer is. I don't know, but you know, and Trump said if I was in office, it never would have happened. And you know what? I believe him. I
Yeah, I kind
really
of
do
believe him
believe that.
too.
I
Hmm.
believe him. And he's even said, if I get elected, that war will be over in a week. And I bet you he's telling the truth.
Hmm.
I guarantee he's telling the truth because it's unwinnable. Those Ukrainians are getting slaughtered. They're getting absolutely slaughtered, you know. And there's no doubt that the Russians have been holding back um, as much as they can, but their backs are against the wall because the United States keeps pushing them. You know, they're sending weapons. You know, we definitely have advisors. We have people in there training the Ukrainians. we're funding them. If it wasn't for us giving them all the money, they couldn't do any of this. The little bit that they're still doing, and really all they're doing. I mean, they have no soldiers left because they're being wiped out. All they're doing is like firing drone attacks.
That's
You know,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, so again, there's so much to it. It's so complicated that we can't even comprehend it. But yeah, just to like the average citizen here is, oh yeah, Slava Ukraine, and the evil Russians. Don't let them take over the world. That has nothing to do with it. They're not looking to take over the world. You know what I mean? There's so much more behind that whole situation. So yeah, and there's a reason why it's going on. There's a big reason. People are benefiting from it. You have the military contractors. These politicians are so much. We can go on and on and on. But when you talk about it, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. But it's reality. A lot of it is reality. People just don't want to admit that. They don't comprehend it. So yeah. But going back to what you said, vote if you're gonna vote, but vote with your head. Like, think about it. Don't just vote because I don't like that guy, because the orange man says bad words. I can't vote for him. It's ignorant. It really is ignorant at the end of the
It
day,
is.
you know? And when people do that, and when people speak like that, and people act out like that, it really just shows their ignorance, unfortunately, you know? So, all right, my friend, I think we talked enough about politics, man. My blood pressure's going up as usual when I talk about it. You got me all worked up.
But that's good, man. Hey, people, man, it's good. It's good to speak those things because then we can like find a common ground. Um,
You
we
would
speak
hope.
to our neighbors. We speak to, and then we find a fucking common ground. Maybe, and like you said, be open to what's really good. It doesn't matter who it is, but what's really good for these times that we live in.
Do your research as best as you can. Look at the person and say to yourself, who would benefit me most? Me and my family and I, and then the country as a whole. Who do I think would honestly do a better job? And if you come to the conclusion that it's Trump, then go vote for him. If you come to the conclusion that it's Biden, then go vote for him. That's your decision. But make a fucking educated decision, a
Mm-hmm.
rational decision. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? If you think it's this RFK guy, if then go vote for him. But at least sit down and really think about it and stop just this blind, just following blind and listening to people on the news who are just trying to twist your mind. It really is about fucking mind control at the end of the day. And it's so easy to control people. You just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, and people believe it so easily, you know? So, all right. I think we're going to stop with the politics.
Let's stop, man. Let's stop.
All right, guys. Appreciate you listening to us. Back to the exercise. I hope everybody gets their reps in. I always appreciate everybody being here. Aldo, my friend, I appreciate you, my brother, listening to me, being my sounding board here, the voice of reason. You're always like the voice of reason.
That's good, man. I'm glad I can help, man. That's it's good to have different points of views on the same panel.
Yeah, no
Sometimes
doubt.
it's the same point of views. Sometimes it's the same. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I'm trying to have somebody that help around. Comes with that
Well, you have to
solution.
agree. You have to agree with me because I make sense.
Exactly.
Not like
Exa-
you.
no, but what makes sense, it makes sense.
All right, my friend. I appreciate you. Everybody else, stay healthy. Make sure you get your reps in, and I guess we'll talk to them in the next one, right, Aldo?
Yes, sir. We
All
talk on
right,
the
brother.
next one, man. God bless everyone. Good night.
All right, my friend. I'll see you later.
See you later.